Hi, good to see you. I'm Max, and in this video we will talk about whether or not Daedalus will become essentially Cardano's hub, or basically the place to be for the Cardano community. But before we start, 72% of you guys aren't following us on YouTube, so please do consider subscribing. We make one video a day about Cardano, so if you like our videos, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's get into it. So, what can you do with Daedalus? Well, you can make transactions. Obviously, it's a wallet, right? You can delegate, so you can essentially delegate your funds to a stake pool, and in the future you will probably also be able to vote, essentially to delegate your vote through Voltaire with liquid democracy to another person who you trust to vote for you. So this will be possible normally in Daedalus. Another thing which you will probably be able to do in the future will be managing your stake pool, or at least the funds of your stake pool. And the reason why this makes sense is because right now there is no stake pool wallet, right? You have to go through the terminal, so the command line, and it's a very, quite a technical process if you do follow the documentation and don't use any additional tools. And so it would make sense for Daedalus to have an option for stake pools to manage their funds on Daedalus, especially because it means that there is a ton of ADA out there which isn't possible to be managed on Daedalus because it's in stake pool wallets. And so enabling stake pool wallets in Daedalus would essentially open the doors to a ton of liquidity, which would be brought in Daedalus, which would again increase the importance of Daedalus, which is essentially an asset for IOHK. I will talk about that later. You will also more than probably be able to use Daedalus as a dApp explorer. That makes perfect sense, right? It doesn't make sense to only use it as a wallet. You should be able to interact with it. So it's probably going to maybe not a browser, but probably an explorer, and you will have a select amount of apps you will be able to use, which will be verified by the Daedalus team, or some other process to make sure that the apps available in Daedalus will be safe. You will also be able to participate in governance, by voting on proposals. That kind of makes sense, right? So you will be able to essentially do everything regarding governance inside Daedalus itself. And finally, we also know that Daedalus Mobile is coming to Cardano in the future. We don't know when, but Charles said in one of his last AMAs that it would make sense to have a mobile version of Daedalus in the future. And I think it also does make sense for Daedalus to have in the future a browser extension, right? Because right now, and that's the interesting part, there are two major players in the wallet, the wallet space in Cardano. You have Daedalus and you have Uroi. And Uroi makes me think a lot it's very similar to MetaMask, if you would compare it. And Daedalus, not sure, but Daedalus is more hardcore, maybe mainly because it's a full node wallet, so you are running your own node instead of relying on someone else's nodes like you are with Uroi. And so these are two major wallets, and the funny thing is that each of these wallets is being developed by one of the core entities behind Cardano. And so for these entities, these wallets are definitely, I guess, a strategic asset, right? Because it means when you have so many wallets, at least so many funds on your platform, they aren't in your control, these funds, but you can influence how these funds will be used, right? IOHK can indirectly influence how, for example, delegation or people will delegate to stake pools, right? If IOHK puts their stake pool at the top of the list inside Daedalus, obviously people will delegate to the IOHK stake pool because they won't scroll down to find one stake pool and make the research about 900 stake pools. That just doesn't make sense. They will just pick up a random stake pool in the top 10 and that's it. So Daedalus and Yoroi actually are very important assets for these two companies, especially also with governance, which will be coming very soon. These wallets, while they're currently considered as I guess normal wallets, part of the Cardano ecosystem, they will likely soon become very major assets for these two companies, in my opinion. So what you need to remember here is that Daedalus is becoming, and Yoroi will probably become that too, a real hub of services and tools. And so you will be able to do a lot of stuff inside Daedalus. You will be able to vote, you will be able to delegate your vote, you will be able to you are already able to delegate your funds. You will be able to explore some dApps and use them inside Daedalus itself. You should be able, normally, in the future, to manage your stake pool wallets inside Daedalus. And who knows, maybe we will have a mobile version of Daedalus as well as, fingers crossed, an extension of Daedalus in the future, which will allow Daedalus users to very easily interact with tools and services made for Cardano users online, as well as, I guess, in the real life, using the Daedalus mobile app, which could be used, to quickly pay, like you would pay with, WeChat, where you just scan a QR code. Well, you could see that happening with Daedalus. So I think Daedalus is definitely something which you should keep your eye on in the future, because right now it's seen as a simple wallet, and it's going to become a real essential tool for the Cardano user in the future. Now, if you like this video, please consider following us, whether on Twitter or on YouTube. We post daily on Twitter and on YouTube, all about Cardano. Please do like the video. Please do share it with your friends, neighbors, family, cats, dog, sheep. And yeah, I think that's it. See you soon. Bye.